let's break on rise this, it's that time we do a press preview. A first look at the papers. We start with our sister publication, This Day newspaper, and This Day has as its headline, Sanwo-Olu to Yoruba people, consider Tinubu's aspiration your priority. With some writers there, Buhari explains why APC candidate announced partner in Naura. Lawan Badabia Mila, Northeast Caucus back Shetima speak. Linking ex-Borno governor to Boko Haram, mischievous, says Sani. Northern Khan says it won't lose sleep over party's choice. The same thing that Kuka said. In that picture, Lou Jacobs celebrates his 80th birthday celebration party. One of the leading thespians in Nollywood. Now you have in search for jailbreakers, soldiers take over Abuja, mount strategic roadblocks. FCT UBEP chairman recount to deal in hands of train attackers. NDLEA police arrest 2 escapees from Kuje prison. And just at the top mast there, a decade of gas, FG to spend $2 billion investment yearly on infrastructure development, says NLNG.
Well, the packed front page on the Nigerian Tribune, but the leading headline here, Nigeria lost 4.2 trillion naira crude oil revenue in 6 months. That's an investigation by the Nigerian Tribune. Some writers fails to meet OPEC quota consecutively for 6 months. The federal government blames oil theft and vandalism. That's on page 5. Let's take some more headlines. Osibanjo Tinubu other governors in Osun for APC grand rally today. Meanwhile, Atiku, other PDP leaders in Osogbo for Adeleke on Thursday. Another headline here, the presidency says we used US jets, British intelligence to eliminate SWAP leader. 11 killed as bandits invade farms in Zamfara community. Above the nameplate of the Nigerian Tribune, Buhari tells Nigerians, I am eager to go. That's on page 2.
The Punch newspaper, it's leading with Tinubu Shetima ticket, how Buhari doused Governor says anger in Daura. Find out what he said to them on page 8. Fuel scarcity worsens. Abuja black marketers sell 350 naira per litre. And there's more. NNPC blocks ExxonMobil's asset sale to Seplat. Page 24, you can read about that. Power generation drops. Discos, federal government battle for control.
All right, the Nation newspaper. Shetima's choice excites Buhari APC governors. He has one rider there. Bagudu, Rufai, Fayemi, others were okay with Tinubu's decision. And then at the top mast, Oshun, hold on a little bit. Oshun 2022 APC holds mega rally. SDP candidates home attacked. We just read that a while ago, and don't allow vote buying. You can find that on page 7. And then 41.6 trillion debt. Nigeria fails World Bank disclosure rule. That's on Nation newspaper.
Some international papers, The Independent, its leading story, Javid exploited non-dom tax loophole while MP. The former chancellor refuses to reveal location of offshore trust.
The iPaper. Okay, let's take a look at The Guardian. The Uber whistleblower, I'm exposing a system that sold people a lie. And Tories take fast track to replace the Prime Minister.
Right, I newspaper. It says, Samo, I'm not who you think. I'm not who you think I am. Four-time Olympic champion is actually called Hussein Adhi Kahin, and was trafficked to UK as illegal immigrant aged 9. Athlete reveals how his father was killed in the Somali Civil War and he was separated from his mother. Despite what I've said in the past, my parents never lived in the UK, he tells a new BBC documentary. Samo's wife helped uncover the secrets. After noticing missing pieces of his story, he says the important thing for me now is just being honest. And Home Office dismisses claims that father of four could be stripped of British nationality.
The Financial Times this morning. Let's take some headlines on the front page. Sunak to defend tax stance by vowing cuts once inflation tamed. Some riders there bid to fend off attacks, says people deserve honesty. Let's take more headlines now. Retail investors offered more choice in plans for next wave of city reforms.
The Daily Express. Heat wave is risk to life. An extremely rare danger to life warning has been issued in Britain, and it's heading as the country is heading for its hottest day in history. They're reporting that temperatures could tip 40 degrees Celsius. We've had more than that in Nigeria, but let's see how that happens. Mo Farah makes an incredible revelation. I was smuggled into Britain by child traffickers. Mo Farah is not actually my real name. September 5th, the day we find out who's moving into number 10 Downing Street, who will become the next Prime Minister in the UK. Of course, nominations are coming in already today. We heard Graham.
Wednesday, Brady.
We heard Graham speak, Brady,
talk about the fact that the first ballots could be on Wednesday, and then maybe the second one on Thursday. But the news is that Sunak, is the leading contender.
Yes.
And then now he has in the I-paper, he says Sunak hits back after rivals challenge him on tax. Sunak hits back after rivals challenge him on tax. We see how this contest to take over from Boris Johnson, who has said, I am not supporting anybody. I do not want to put clogs in the wheel of anybody or play for that Christmas for any candidate, So
I also think that Liz Truss stands a chance of getting the job. Yeah.
Are you playing? What are you playing?
Inclusivity.
Okay, yeah. Inclusivity, that's what.
Okay, so I think we have Emmanuel Bello now for the press preview. Emmanuel, good morning. Good to have you. Thanks for joining us.
Morning.
Let's take a look at what's going on the National Daily, still talking about Tinubu's pick for the vice presidential candidate for the APC. Here on this day, says Sanwo-Olu to Yoruba people, that's the governor of Lagos State, consider Tinubu's aspiration your priority. And some writers there, Buhari explains why APC candidates announced partner in Daura. The Northern Khan says it won't lose sleep over party's choice. And also linking the ex-Borno governor to Boko Haram is mischievous, says Sani. What are your thoughts on all this?
Well, Nkechi, good morning. Kenneth, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Is the midweek. Right. I think what we're dealing with here is Sanwo-Olu trying to, hold down the base for his boss. But already the boss was in Daura trying to rally up the northern troops. So this is Sanwo-Olu trying to get it through with the southern end of it, and he used a festival as the occasion to try to rally that base. His boss Tinubu is facing a lot of flack over his choice of Shetima up north. You have Christian coalitions body coming, including even some Muslim groups who are saying that, look, let there be some kind of let his choice should have reflected the color of our country, the nature of our country, the diversity, the plurality of our country. So he's getting that flag up north. But what his boss, what Sanwo-Olu is doing for his boss in the South is to say, well, let the Yoruba nation, if not anything, Tinubu should be able to deliver the Southwest. He should get the block vote of the Southwest. So he's telling them that, well, the Tinubu contest is essentially a Yoruba project. So the Yorubas will have to buy in. The Southwest will have to buy into this project for it to even sell elsewhere. So that's what Sanwo-Olu is trying to do. Most Lagos governors try to do that for him in most cases. They try to, rally that base for him. So is Sanwo-Olu going to be successful in doing that? Well, it depends on so many things. Don't forget that in the Southwest we have the other parties too struggling hard. The Osun elections this weekend we test the wheels of these parties, the APC, the PDP in the Southwest. So, but what Sanwo-Olu is doing using this occasion is to say, look, we've always rallied around our own, so let's do this again. Even as Tinubu continuously has been under a lot of fire because of his choice of Shetima, the Muslim thing is not really resonating with a lot of people. A lot of people, I can assure you, especially even those who think that, well, it does not reflect balance or even our diversity, and does not really help to deepen the unity that we're talking about. With even Atiku, the presidential candidate of the PDP, warning that such issues could further deepen the exclusion syndrome that a lot of people keep talking about. So in the midst of all of that, you have Sanwo-Olu who is, doing his bit to see what support he can rally for his boss.
Well, Emmanuel, the 44th President of the United States, Barack Obama, will say to you, don't boo, vote. If you're not comfortable with that pick, vote other parties. The President, Muhammad Buhari, in the Tribune, he says, I am eager to go. He's telling Nigerians, I want to pack my bags. And meanwhile, he's begging university lecturers to get back to the classrooms. How far will this appeal go?
Kenneth, my first thoughts about that when I saw beg, I said, well, look, leaders don't beg, they act, they do something. Of course, there's a place for pleading, but then there's also a place for negotiation, and it's better that you try to, meet demands rather than beg. It's not about begging. Those are lecturers who have got families to feed, and they've got, bills to pay. So you don't just beg, you can't even beg those kind of situations. So rather than beg, I think he should say something better. He should talk about those demands. He should talk about the needs. Of course, you can appeal to the morality of it all, but it is essentially the technicalities, the needs of those people, of these lecturers, that you need to tackle. He's eager to go, Kenneth. Yes, and I think a lot of Nigerians are eager to say farewell to him and to say bye bye. So yes, but it's not about his eagerness. It's also about the fact that he should be able to institute a transition that is transparent, because he's got maybe finally the only legacy left to be able to go with is that, look, he was able to be kit or the electoral process, and then of course a transition that will usher in a new dispensation altogether. It will depend largely on his ability to be able to maneuver all of that. So yes, it's heartwarming. He's already said that several times, even when he was, when he was somewhere else in the world. He said, look, he has no plans to stay longer than necessary. He said the person who plans staying the third term didn't augur well, the last person who tried it. So he's actually in a hurry to move out. And I think a lot of Nigerians are beginning to even think of the post-Buhari days and to say farewell to him too.
All right. Well, we must also remember that it takes two to tango. The lecturers themselves have to think about the posterity of our children when they embark on this continuous strike. So it takes two to tango. Power Generation drops Disco's FG battle for control. 41 million get means to escape SIM-ban, and directors of 10 banks pocket 6.9 billion allowance and compensation. This is in Punch. What do you make of those stories, Emmanuel?
Especially the power thing, I think that's the one that concerns me the most there. Of course, all the other stories are interesting, but yes, we're having this serious crisis of electricity, and it's really troubling. You and I know that we're not getting the kind of hours we should get, and it's a problem. So. Like I said in the past, all we get is explanation again and again why we're having that. It's almost like the back and forth that goes on in the oil sector. It's another energy crisis, and we don't get very clear-cut ideas of what is going on. Neither do we even get any serious reassurance that the power will ever improve. President Buhari, who is eager to leave, started his campaign by asking that question: where is the power? I think 8 years down the line, as he leaves, I'm sure he's still asking that question: where's the power? And the rest of us are wondering why we cannot combat what a lot of people call the forces of darkness. To be able to even just have electricity, it's a poor commentary on a country. And the country can be larger than its energy supply. Developments are tied to it. Our daily lives are tied to that. So without power, we won't go far. So I think that's an interesting story in Punch.
Especially the SMEs, they need power to be able to move the economy of the nation forward.
And so do the lecturers of the university. They need their pay to continue to teach the students. Well, thank you so much, Emmanuel Bello.